Good afternoon and welcome to Midday Live. We're coming to you from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. My name is Judith Awachi Tando, and of course, happy Father's Day to all fathers coming up this afternoon. The National TB Program faces challenges in assessing diagnostic services for controlling TB spread. And on the international front, Malians voting in a referendum on changing the constitution to pave the way to elections and a return to civilian rule. Details of these stories and more coming up shortly. My name is Judith Awachi Tando. Well, in our first story, a private legal practitioner, Kwesi Bafo Intifo, says all IMF agreements are supposed to be subjected to prior parliamentary approval before they're executed per Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. Now, he has encouraged the public to enforce their constitutional rights through judicial scrutiny and proper action.
In my view, personal view, I think that Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution is clear, even though the Constitution uses the word loan. Loan is also defined in the Constitution to include, which means that to include monies that will be paid into the consolidated fund or that you would have to pay back to the person who gave you the money. And so, in my humble view, it does not necessarily have to be only, if you like, commercial loans, but it will include any loan that you would have to, any money that you would have to pay back or you would have to return eventually. And in my view, that money that you would have to pay back to the IMF would have to come from public funds, and that will require that, in my view, it should go with parliamentary approval. I am throwing up that challenge to a whole country, any member of our society, not necessarily GBA. It can be Ghana Journalists Association, it can be any individual, it can be any other citizen of Ghana can go to the Supreme Court, invoking its interpretive jurisdiction and ask the Supreme Court to interpret Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution to see whether IMF deals in its entirety has to come to Parliament.
Now, in other news, non-functioning traffic lights at various intersections in the Greater Accra region pose grave danger to motorists and pedestrians. Christian Yale reports on how this phenomenon is increasing the risk of road traffic crashes, creating traffic jams, and endangering the lives of people. Kali notes that viewers' discretion is advised.
When the red, yellow and green colors of the traffic light flicker out, there is chaos. It can be deadly, leaving victims maimed for life. Over the past years, it has become common to see many traffic lights out of order in the capital. It is 5:45 a.m. at the UPSA junction of the Medina Accra Road. Here, pedestrians cross the road at their own peril. The traffic lights have not been functioning for months. Students and the aged contend with speeding vehicles to cross over.
It's very worrying and a dangerous precedent. We wouldn't wish that has happened, but it has happened. When you get to an intersection that a traffic light is not working, that is where you have to be disciplined enough. Your safety should be paramount to you, and then you should your concentration should be on the road, tolerate other drivers. It will take discipline for us to manage the situation.
At many busy intersections, drivers from different directions have to negotiate their way through. And in cases where the communication goes wrong, traveling becomes a daring adventure. Police MTTD officers who control traffic at such places put their lives at great risk.
we are in contact with the Department of Urban Roads, who has the management of the traffic lights under their domain. They engaged us and explained to us that the traffic lights that are in the country are sort of fade out, outmoded, and so there is a major policy at their place to replace all of them. But the major problem they also have is pilfering, thieves taking away all the wires amongst them.
Here is Kaneshie First Light. As a critical and crucial place as it is, there is no traffic light working here. Now it becomes very deadly and disastrous, especially when there is no MTTD officer here to direct traffic.
When the traffic lights get faulty, a new normal begins for some young and middle-aged and even old men who take on a new role as traffic wardens.
Hey, stop! What I realize is that most of the highways, the traffic are not operating. And when it's happening like that, a lot of accidents occur. I've been directing as well, not only this place.
Even as I engaged him, it became necessary for him to ensure his personal safety.
Stop! Please stop!
This voluntary or unpaid work can sometimes be torturous.
My problem with the drivers, they rather become irresponsible.
Few minutes after he left, chaos erupted.
That's 3 weeks in here. Traffic lights, yes, say.
The traffic lights have been off for about 3 weeks. The police officers don't spend much time here to control traffic.
Oh, traffic they are high,
We plead with governments to work on it urgently.
Efforts to get official responses from the Department of Urban Roads were unsuccessful, even though TV3 had earlier submitted a letter requesting for an interview. Traffic lights ensure that sanity prevails on our roads. Non-functioning traffic lights, however, are a traffic light are fixed immediately to prevent road crashes. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
On to some politics now. And on Friday, June 16, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia filed his nomination to lead the governing New Patriotic Party into the 2024 general elections. Now, while a section of the public believes the Vice President might not be the president Ghana needs at this point in time, others still have a lot of hope and confidence in his innovations and leadership. Manasseh Aprum has more in the following report.
The political scene in 2008 experienced a paradigm shift in many different ways, including the entry of Dr. Bawumia into the space as the running mate to the then candidate Akufo-Addo. The former Bank of Ghana governor and PhD graduate from Fraser University, Vancouver, specializing in macroeconomics, international economics, development economics, and monetary policy, came across as the absolute economic messiah, and his academic laurels and pursuits were there to show. The MPP ticket of Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia was not successful in 2008 or 2012. If there was going to be a set of people to salvage what was left of an ailing economy, then it had to be Akufo-Addo and the economic wizard, or so Ghanaians thought as we went into the 2016 elections. The ticket won the 2016 and 2020 elections. But 7 years on, a number of Ghanaians have expressed disappointment at the performance of Dr. Bawumia as Vice President and head of the Economic Management Team. Now, he intends to lead a governing party to break the 8 in the 2024 polls with digitalization as his trump card.
I want to make Ghana the digital hub of Africa. I want us to bridge the digital divide and apply digital technology and artificial intelligence for the transformation of healthcare, education, and public service delivery, amongst others.
Dr. Bawumia's digitalization agenda has made inroads, and he seems to be making great strides in that direction with the implementation of many innovations. But, speaking on TV3's news analysis program, The Key Points, NDC South Day Member of Parliament, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekbo, said Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has failed as the head of the economic management team.
Bawumia as a man, he was previously described as an economic whiz kid. Because when you are a whiz kid, he ought not to leave you.